So, it has been a while since I last updated you guys on what's been happening on my Vanguards no summoning account. It's literally been so long that I don't even remember what happened in the last episode. So let's do a quick recap of Part 4. I obtained Saber, Alternate, Sokora, Yamamoto, Dave, Lucy, and Choijongen. Okay, I did not make a lot of progress last episode, but that's fine, because I made some crazy progress this episode. I also decided to double my goal from 50 to 100, because I'm actually starting to enjoy the challenge again. Currently, I am at 31 discoveries, so let's get into it. It is currently Update 5, which does mean a new Battle Pass, this Battle Pass being by far the best one since release, as both units from this Battle Pass are high-tier meta units, with one of them even being an unbound unit, which means I might actually have a shot at beating this world line, depending on what stages I get. So reaching tier 25 in the Battle Pass will be my highest priority. Then we'll see how far he can get in the world line. It only took me 2 days of macroing, but I now finally have Dante. Might as well do some re-rolls on him. Deadeye is the most ideal trait for him due to his crit-related passives. And if you're wondering where I got all my re-rolls from, 40 from mail, 10 from codes, and the rest I got from boss events and challenges. Game's clearly racist. Anyways, I am gonna do some quick stat re-rolls before I evolve him, so hopefully the game stops being racist. First S. And a godly stat! And another S. I'm fine with having Z stats, as there's not really a large difference between Z and Z+. Now it's time to find out whether or not I can get Frieren. And unfortunately, the Unbound-only stage was a Dragon Ball stage, where a majority of the bosses had health regeneration. And since I had no nukes or bleed units, I sadly could not get Frieren, which would have been the closest thing to a farm unit. Anyhow, the only units left to grind for this update were Boo and Virgil, and lucky enough for me, I was able to get a Boo portal after only 4 attempts, so hopefully I can beat it. May have to abuse the 2 times nuke damage from Gilgamesh, since I don't exactly have any bleed units. I should probably explain how I was able to deal 2 times damage with Gilgamesh's ability. So obviously, this only works with Gilgamesh's ability up, and you're gonna want to time it midway of Gilgamesh's attack. This is so that when his ability ends, his normal attack that was interrupted would continue but with the ability's damage. And this has been in the game since Gilgamesh's release, so please no ban me game. I ain't do nothing wrong. So now that I do have Boo, the only problem is that I can't exactly evolve him, as the legend stage that drops the evolution material is way too hard with no income. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna farm re-rolls and hope that I get Deadeye on my Dantes. Holy, that took a lot of re-rolls. But now he should be on par with my Monarch Gilgamesh. Well, in terms of overall DPS, not burst DPS. Anyways, I was also able to reach tier 50 in the Battle Pass, meaning that I now have Virgil. And like always, gonna do some stat re-rolls before evolving him. Okay, Z, SPA is good. And AS for range, which is fine. Now I'm just gonna do a quick stat transfer. And that should be good enough. Okay, so it is currently update 6. If you're wondering what I did in update 5.5, I did nothing. Anyways, new battle pass once again. And finally, after what felt like an eternity, there is actually a bleed unit I can obtain without summoning, which is from this new battle pass at tier 25. So obviously I am gonna farm for it. And I guess also the tier 50 unit, which is arguably pretty bad, due to his passives only appearing once you max him out, which is actually horrible for me since I don't have no farms. So yeah, be right back. Alright, so I can finally claim my bleed unit. And of course evolve him. And now also the tier 50 unit. And that is literally all I did for update 6. Okay, so I know I haven't exactly done anything crazy yet. All I have been doing for the past few updates was just farm the battle pass, which isn't exactly that impressive. But I can guarantee you this. I did pop off in update 6.5. So Sid has been in the game for quite a while now, since update 5.5 I believe, and the reason I'm only bringing this up now is literally because I forgot he existed. So I should probably grind for him, as he is a meta unit that literally has 2 nukes. 2 nukes for 1 unit is actually crazy value, so hopefully I can actually beat Act 1 of Ruined City. Alright, so along with this update is a new season shop, which means even more re-rolls. Now gambling time. I will only be accepting Monarch. As a Monarch, Sid will quite easily carry me through this challenge. Hell nah. I think it's time to evolve him. And I should probably also buy the Black Spirit for faster swaps. 77% more meter is pretty good. So to get more re-rolls, I have decided to do this season's World Line, and depending on whether or not I can get Monarch on my Sid, I may actually be able to get Invincible, as Sid can in fact be used in the Unbound-only stages, meaning that I now have a nuke to deal with any Dragon Ball bosses, plus the fact he is also immune to every debuff. All right, time to find out if I can get Invincible or not.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It was first try. But more like that's crazy though. But and it was one reroll. One reroll after. Oh my god. Thank you, game. Okay, there's my reaction. Now you know. Now back to the AI voice, cause yeah.
And now I should quite easily beat all the floors of this World Line. Now, for the moment of truth, can I actually beat a World Line without summoning? Quite unfortunate that he doesn't have an evolution, but that's fine as he is quite a decent boss killer, so might as well do some stat rerolls on him. Now that I think about it, it would be smarter to evolve a unit than transfer it to Invincible. So let me quickly evolve Sakura. And that should be it for him. So the next thing I do want to do is evolve my Boo, as now that I do have a Monarch Sid, it should be possible for me to do the Legend stage. Alright, I do want to quickly use some of my corruption crystals to hopefully improve my Black Spirit. So I am aiming for corruption 3 for increased meter rate. And first try. Now to see if it increased or decreased. It did in fact increase, so now Sid swaps after 4 attacks, which does speed up the process of reaching 600% damage for his second nuke. Anyhow, I do want to farm for the Spring Portal unit next, as they are insanely cost-efficient for their damage. Only problem is that I'm farming with a 0% drop chance multiplier. This may take a while. That was actually really fast. So despite being able to get a secret portal with a 0% multiplier, I somehow could not even get one shamrock, which is needed to evolve slime. So back to the portals. And another secret portal. But more importantly, the shamrock. So ethereal seems like the best trait according to the tier list. Deadeye is also pretty good too, so either one is good enough for me. Wow, my luck has genuinely been crazy this update. I'm actually quite confident that I can now solo both rifts. Currently, it's the Astolfo rift, and of course my Cid will be hard carrying. And during this time, I was also re-rolling my Burb Familiar to further increase Rimmeru's overall damage. I was mostly trying to get increased damage and range, not crit damage or crit rate since I didn't get Deadeye. And I did indeed get a pretty decent re-roll. The max damage you can get is 20% and I got 19.8%. My only complaint is the range. Max is 20% and I got 5.3%. Now to actually evolve Astolfo. So it's now time to do Yuwaka's Rift, which is actually harder than the Astolfo Rift, so I may actually have to lock in. I mean, Deadeye is better than nothing. Now to actually evolve Yuwak. And the last thing I will be farming for this update will be Elfelt. And as you can see already, I have done Act 1 of Edge of Heaven 213 times, which did result in me getting a Elfelt portal. However, I did kinda lose. But now that I do have Monarch Sid, clearly I should be able to do the portal now. And now I do gotta farm some bullets if I do want to evolve her, the bullets being obtainable from Act 3 of Shining Castle. And that is all the units I can obtain for this update, if you're wondering why I didn't get Baiken. Just use your brain. Here's proof that I still haven't summoned.